Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's episode of Talk Exchange. Today, Tracey and Kristie talk all about what many of our clubs are doing across the country in their efforts to give back to their own communities. So today's a fun episode, might give you some new ideas, and hopefully if you are one of those clubs that they mention, it's a great way to show their thanks for all the great things that you are doing. So hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you again next week.
Okay. Welcome to this episode of Talk Exchange. I'm Tracey Edwards, CEO of the National Exchange Club.
And I'm Kristie Lindahl, Director of Communications. It's Monday.
It is. Oh my gosh, that's fun. And you know, we're in the season of thankfulness, the busy season. We were just sitting here talking about how busy our clubs are. And I know we're busy too. It was a full and fun weekend, right?
Oh, Thanksgiving. Everybody looks forward to Thanksgiving all year long in my family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same here. That's my favorite holiday for a lot of reasons. I just love it.
Yeah, I mean, lounging around in sweatpants and eating all day.
Yes, perfect.
Twist my arm.
Yeah. Exactly. That's an easy one to get behind, right?
It sure is. You know, we were talking, Tracey, we were looking through our members page, and you and I decided to sit down on this podcast and go through some of the things that our members have been posting.
Yes.
You know, so we talk about the busy holiday season right now. But man, these members have been busy all year.
Well, they have. In fact, you know, hopefully if you're an Exchange Club member and you're listening, you are a member of our Facebook Exchange Club member page, and you'll see just the number of things clubs do and that they're so proud of that they want to post is amazing. So amazing, in fact, that it's taken us several minutes to even get back past October.
Yes.
So.
We were just talking between Halloween and Veterans Day. Thanksgiving, of course, but we've seen clubs ramping up for Christmas and Hanukkah, those other December holidays already, which is what's taking us so long to find out what they've done throughout the rest of the year.
Well, that is true. And, you know, it's like that domino effect. The more people post, the more people want to post. And so it's fun because it gets people excited. One thing I really like about this page is that there's a lot of big stuff, but there's a lot of small stuff. And so I think it gives people the power to post just anything they're doing, anything they're proud of, no matter the size or the magnitude or the impact. It's every little bit counts, and that shows.
And there's nothing more impactful than sharing what your club has done, especially if you're on the committee that hosted a fundraiser or put together a great prevention program. How awesome to share that with other members across the country and get their attaboys, because they're in the trenches. They also know what it takes to pull something like that off.
Well, you're right. You know what's cool about it too is I think that it answers a lot of questions. So if you're listening and you have been thinking about posting on the page, or if you haven't been thinking about it, you didn't know about it, or you think this isn't good enough, know that somewhere in the country, somebody is looking for those things. Somebody is going to be so thankful, because so many times we get questions. What are other clubs doing? What fundraisers do clubs do? How do they make money? How do they get their name out there? So that's the impact. And even if it doesn't generate 100 likes when you post it, somebody's looking at it and they're taking it back to their club and saying, we should do this, or look what they did.
And it's resonating. So even if it doesn't cause an immediate reaction by someone else, it's still in the back of their mind and might eventually come out and help produce some great results.
Exactly. So that's good. So today we want to go through and just highlight some things that have caught our eye over the past few months and give some clubs some shout outs. I know I did enjoy seeing the Exchange Club of Toledo, the big multi-club Veterans Day post.
That was great, wasn't it? It's a unique opportunity for us here in Northwest Ohio and Southeastern Michigan, because we get to work with the members of the Veterans Matter staff directly. So while everyone across the country knows where their money is going, we get to work with them to help raise these funds.
Yeah, and a good reminder to everyone listening that the National Exchange Club is the second largest donor to Veterans Matter, with more than $650,000 raised since our partnership began. And it was cool to see their founder, Ken Leslie, at the event, always supportive. And brings back memories to the day when we just started the partnership and took it nationwide.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I will never forget the first time I met Ken Leslie. He has a big personality.
He does.
He did. You brought him to the building. We chit-chatted. We talked a little bit about how this partnership was going to kick off, what we hoped for it to look like in the future. And then we went out into the Court of Honor and made a nice little video.
I remember that too.
Oh, gosh.
That was so fun.
That was fun.
And look at everything now. Now homeless veterans are being housed across the country thanks to that amazing partnership. So we're very proud of that. So I always have a special place for all of the Veterans Day events. But, everything. Like just now I saw a post from the Exchange Club of Owatonna in Minnesota, and they posted back in October about their Popular Youth of the Month and Year award. So that was great to see. And, that's fun for them to post because they're awarding and recognizing someone. But again, that's another way to promote exchange in the community, right? Because now you've engaged the student, their family, the administrators. So it's an awesome opportunity.
Yeah, I looked through this page. Lots of American flags.
Yes. I know. I just looked at Stars and Stripes Exchange Club of Killeen. This was back on National Day of Service. They did something to support the Resource Center at the Garden of Hope in Central Texas. So they organized clothing and completed some building maintenance. So, it's projects like that. That's what exchange clubs are so great at doing is nobody tells them what to do. They find the need in the community.
Yes.
And every community's need is different, right?
You bet. Different demographics.
Yeah. So they're good at identifying the need and then working to meet or exceed that need.
Yeah, we've got the Exchange Club of Charleston recently had their fair.
Yes.
It's shortly after the beginning of the new year that we find out how much they give back. Is that correct?
Yes. And, they inducted 9 new members at that fair opening.
Wow.
And it's amazing because they have such a beautiful fairgrounds. Now they do, a number of things right there at the fairgrounds. And they typically give away several $100,000 back into the community, which is huge.
I have to imagine there are a lot of other nonprofits in that community that actually count on the Exchange Club to keep their head above water.
Absolutely. And imagine, too, the fun that people have, and those members work so hard to make that fair happen.
Oh, I know. That would be a good project, I think, for a lot of members to experience.
Absolutely.
To see, it's a lot of hours and a lot of dedication, but man, they sure have fun.
They do. In fact, people could take advantage of that opportunity because every year at convention, the Exchange Club of Charleston is generous to give away a package for somebody to win and bid on and
That's
go
a nice
participate in the fair. I know, right? Yeah. So anybody can go and take part in that grand event. I always like the salutes, too. Connecticut District has their salute to the bravest, which is their salute to firefighters in October, right? And then they do the police officers in May.
One of them was held over the Court of Honor weekend.
Yes, that was the bravest. With the firefighters. So that's always an amazing event.
We see the Exchange Club of Fort Bend had their Duck Golf Classic.
Oh.
I haven't heard anything about how that went, but...
Interesting. So ducks.
Fort Bend's out there, let us know.
Yeah, ducks and golf. That is an interesting combo.
Rubber ducks, I hope. Little off colors.
I like the sounds of the involving, ducks for sure.
Ducks. And we look back in October as well. So we talked about all of the exchange clubs in our area getting together for Veterans Matter. The Exchange Club of Owatonna, they hosted a, interclub fellowship event with Rochester. To be bell ringers for this holiday season.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. A lot of clubs do the bell ringing at the season, which is really nice. So they take over that job from the people who normally do it and go out there and ring the bell and raise money.
So they're wearing Exchange Club shirts.
Yes.
I hope.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So somehow out there branding your club, making sure people know that you're out there is one of the most important aspects of communications, branding.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, Kristie, because as we're looking at all these pictures, it's a great way to connect the club with the community, right? So for clubs who are wondering, gosh, we do all these good things and the community doesn't know it's us. Well, how are they supposed to know if you don't show them,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Yeah, because the community needs to see the value of having an exchange club there, right?
The biggest compliment I think a club can get is having people who independently know that club exists and then coming to them and asking for services.
Good point.
If people know you're there, that means you've made a big impact.
Yes, we need a bell to ring right there, because if they take one thing away from this, that's it.
Cowbell.
Yeah.
Got a cowbell, Brad?
Everything. You know what else I love seeing? The number of clubs who are doing something around Santa for kids. They're doing letters from Santa, or breakfast, or club members then groom themselves and get ready to look like Santa and then play that part. So that's super fun too.
I did. I just saw a club who already did their shopping.
Wow. Oh, you know what? I think that was Breakfast Billings did their shopping.
I think you're right. They had, was it children from 40 different schools?
Oh my gosh.
I might be misquoting those numbers, but
I don't know. But Doolin, Indiana is out there shopping already too. So that's fun. It makes me think we need to get our list so we can start our shopping.
Yes.
And also, while we're talking about like the time of year, I see it's gray and blustery here, but shout out to the Exchange Club of Hilo in Hawaii. Ooh. So they've been definitely giving their support to Lahaina in Maui, the town that was destroyed by that wildfire. And of course, exchange clubs are rallying out there to show their support. So that's again, the power of people coming together and our motto of unity for service.
Yep. Speaking of unity for service, we see here the Exchange Club of Livingston, Tennessee, actually came together to feed hungry volunteers from Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So people are working and they're providing the meal.
Yeah.
I like that.
They're servicing the volunteers. That's nice.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's
I'm going to take that one back to our club.
I like that. I think we could do that. Definitely. And the Visionary Women's Exchange Club of Charleston, they do so many projects, but this one was supporting free health checkups and mammograms for women.
So very important.
Absolutely. And that's something I don't think I see many clubs cross into that medical arena, right? Where they're actually helping people get those tests and providing that support.
I think we found after COVID, through news interviews with doctors, that there are a lot of people who don't have the ability to even go to the doctor,
right?
Get there. Public transportation might not work. They don't have their own vehicle. And we also learned that a lot of people just don't feel comfortable taking control of their health.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah. So how great that this club of women are out there talking to other women saying, let's do this. You can be your own advocate.
I love that. And of course, somebody so active with the Exchange Club of Sugarland. I know David Lanigan, Dr. David Lanigan from Sugarland is a top contributor. They do a lot in Sugarland. So they supported Wings Over Houston. They did a barbecue fundraiser. They're always doing something. Top contributor on the page. If you want to earn that top contributor badge, the key is have an active club and post about
That's right. And their club has won some web video awards.
That's true.
David does a lot of work on the web videos. So if anybody's interested in submitting for that category, David might be a good person to talk to.
And speaking of him, if you're listening and you think you're too busy to join a service club like Exchange, my mind always goes to David Lanigan because we know busy people. I think that's one of the busiest people. You know what? If you want to have a full life, community service and club membership is really where it's at.
Yep. We're still putting buddy benches out there. I love that.
I do too.
I asked my children just a few years ago, do people actually use the buddy bench?
Okay.
I was curious. Are kids confident enough to go sit on that bench and say, I don't have anyone to play with?
Good question.
They do.
Aw.
Yeah.
My
boy said that it's just become part of the culture at the school. If anyone sees someone sitting on the bunny bench, just their social responsibility to walk over and ask them if they're okay, if they need help, if they want to play.
Good.
Yeah.
That is good to know that it really works.
It does. And our clubs have installed so many of these across the country. So there's some positive feedback.
Most definitely. And back on October 6th, we celebrated our new Exchange Club in Troutman, North Carolina. So I heard that they are extremely active and they have a lot going on there, which is fantastic. Welcome to Exchange, Troutman. Hopefully they're listening and somebody's showing them and telling them all about the great tools and resources we have, right?
And if you're not aware, go ahead and give us a call. 419-535-3232.
Excellent. Speaking of fairs, Southwest Georgia Regional Fair, you know, it's interesting because at this time of year when we're all staying inside, the fairs down south are going on. So
I volunteer to go and visit any of those fairs
right,
in
exactly.
the South.
I would agree. Yes. Now's the time to do it, right? Emerald Coast, Florida, they're always involved with something too. So this says something about this is super cool, Kristie. Their youth chair in the club drove the Excel Club Sweethearts in the homecoming parade.
Aww,
I love that. So
cute.
if you're curious about that, go to the member page. That happened back on October 7th. And wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
I want to do that project just so I can drive those kids around.
Lots of golf. Lots of golf. And you know what else has popped up a lot? Races. We've seen a lot of races.
Wow, that is true.
I don't know about marathons, but a lot of, little fun runs, 5Ks, 10Ks.
True. That is, I heard you can make a lot of money from doing that, which is good. The Exchange Club of Wythe in Hampton, Virginia, celebrated 71 years of service. Woo-hoo. Yeah.
And if there are any clubs out there that aren't aware, we can make logos acknowledging the year that you're celebrating.
That's really nice. That's another way to get that message out to the community, right?
It is. So we have standard ones online right now. We have the 1, and then it goes 5, 10, 15 up in increments of 5. We end with 113, which we'll celebrate in March.
Yes.
But we're more than happy to do any number. People just need to call us or email us, let us know, and we save all of those then in the member database. So they're accessible by every member.
Well, every number is important, and especially I like that we start at 1 because, getting to a first anniversary when you're brand new, that's a commitment and a challenge. So if your club is at about 1 year or approaching 1 year, good job to you. That's super special. Here's another health center, though. The Exchange Club of Jacksonville supported collecting 30 cases of diapers for the Women's Health Center. So another club doing something with the medical facility. I like to see that as well.
Oh, Stars and Stripes Exchange Club of Killeen. Looks like they're supporting a gentleman who went on his honor flight.
Oh, that's an awesome
great.
Project.
We get a lot of honor flights out of our airport here in Toledo.
That's true.
We have a fighter
wing.
And they do a lot of the honor flights out of there.
They do. In fact, my stepdad went on it last year. He's a Vietnam veteran and Purple Heart recipient. And it was super cool because we went to welcome them home. And the Exchange Club of Maumee and Toledo and Greater Maumee Bay all had people out there welcoming him. Even though the plane was supposed to land, I think at 10:30, it landed maybe at 1:30 in the morning. But Exchange Club members stuck around and welcomed people home, and it was a big party. It was awesome.
That's a big commitment because for our listeners, Toledo Airport is not really much of an airport.
Right. That is true.
They don't have restaurants and Starbucks inside.
Well, we were outside in a hangar, and people donated. There was so much food and drinks and activities because everybody donates that.
That's amazing.
So it was like you've never seen the airport before. And then here's one. I'm going north now a little bit. Exchange Club of Alpena. They clean up their stretch of US 23. So I know they do that regularly, keep it clean, and that's a beautiful area up there. And the Exchange Club of Alpena is instrumental in keeping it so.
Oh. The Exchange Club of Vero Beach hosted its second annual Sangarita Challenge.
Oh, that's one that I want to go to.
Yeah,
that sounds fun, doesn't it?
We'll be there, guys.
Yes. They make a lot of money on that.
Do they?
And I can see why. And I'm sure they get a lot of people to it.
The creativity in some of these fundraisers and events is amazing.
It is. And you know what's cool too? These clubs that own fairgrounds, they can activate them for multi-use. Like they do parking cars for another county event and they make money, or they do fireworks there or something. So if they own property, they can expand it to multi-use.
Wasn't it Rome, Georgia, who several years ago used their fairgrounds for people who were in an emergency situation?
Yes.
I can't remember the details surrounding that.
No, but that does sound familiar.
Oh, yes. Backpacks at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
We're seeing that.
And here is the Statesboro Exchange Club doing Give a Kid a Flag to Wave. And it looks like they have a pretty cool homecoming float. Like that. I'd like to make a float sometime.
We can build one in the parking lot.
I think we could. I do have some
Jim,
sorority.
will you fill up these balloons?
Hey, he's putting up the Christmas tree currently. I do have some float experience from back in my sorority days, so we should be able to bring that on back.
We can do it. That would be a TikTok video for sure.
Oh my gosh, definitely.
Now there is a club I saw. I'm not able to locate the post. They bought bags, suitcases and bags for foster children.
Oh, I love that.
I love that project too. Every time I hear about that, it just makes my heart warm a little bit.
Definitely.
Those kids have enough on their plate. They should have more than a plastic garbage bag.
For sure. A nice suitcase, some nice things that they can call their own. I love that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
I agree. Another top contributor from a similar area in Texas is Q Imam. He's always showing off what those clubs are doing. He's super proud of them, which is really great.
That's one of the benefits of staying connected with your district too. You know Q.
Yes,
Q knows his clubs.
True.
And so we find out about those clubs and we can help promote their efforts.
That's exactly right. Springfield, Ohio, they're always active too. They
sure
did a
are.
trunk or treat. They always have a number of things going on that are fun and that get people involved.
They do a lot with our Westchester Club, not down near Cincinnati.
True.
There's a lot of interclub activity in Southern Ohio.
I like that. Pulaski, Tennessee celebrated their 85th anniversary, which is significant.
Oh, the Latin Exchange Club. I have no idea what this says, but it looks like it was a lot of fun.
Good.
They had a celebration on Saturday, August 26th. I know.
Here's
Looks
one of
like
my
it was
favorite
back to
things.
school.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. Pancake breakfasts are always fun. And I saw this picture of the Exchange Club of Macomb, Mississippi. The cool thing was that they worked at the Rotary's pancake breakfast. So they got behind there and flipped pancakes. Because, we always say it doesn't matter what pin you're wearing if you're doing something good in your community. We need more of that.
Right.
They're not our competition. They're our partners.
That's
so
right.
I like seeing that type of thing.
So let's do a tour, Tracy. Let's start at the Sangarita.
Yes. Okay.
And then we need you all to call in and tell us where your pancake breakfasts are.
Yes.
Okay.
Road trip.
We'll stop and watch a good football game.
In Alabama. Yes.
In Alabama.
Yes.
Not Michigan. We're not going that far. We can't talk about that after this weekend.
Too soon. Too soon for sure. Yes. Here in Aberdeen, South Dakota, they did something on the National Day of Service with the Salvation Army. So another great partnership.
Yeah. Speaking of great partnerships, I know that another organization near and dear to your hearts is kicking off a big coat drive.
Yes.
Sales. So Tracy's a member of the Old Newsboys. And every year, a lot of the clubs in the area get together to help sell the papers.
Yes.
Tracy was the president of the Old Newsboys. I'm just bragging about you a little bit.
Thanks. But, that's an organization that I really believe in because they focus on providing new coats, shoes, hats, and gloves for kids. And that is so significant and meaningful because I always think about how empowering that is to a child to be able to choose a coat that fits in a color they like, that's not hand-me-down, that's not
brand
used.
Yes.
And they can go to school and be so proud. Yes. And I think about, too, a certain demographic that we help, thank God, and that people can help. I think about the decisions we made just today, like I picked out the shirt. I don't know why I'm wearing blue today, but I am.
Looks nice.
Thank you. But, the decisions that we take for granted making every day, and yet there are people who have no decisions. They eat whatever the Islamic Food Bank, God bless them for doing that, gave them in their bag of food, and then they wear something that somebody donated. So the fact that they can get a new coat, hat, shoes, and gloves that fit, that they like, that they enjoy, it's so important. So the Old Newsboys needs to raise about $200,000 on Friday in one day.
Wow.
To make that happen in order to provide that to our network of over 110 schools here in Northwest Ohio.
And you're the perfect example of how someone can bring together two organizations to benefit a mutual cause.
Well, thanks. And that's true, because I'm super proud that so many exchange clubs in the area are behind that, and they'll be out collecting money on Friday and supporting that
hopefully
event.
it's a little warmer for them.
No, we always hope for terrible weather days, because people feel bad that we're out there and they give more.
No change.
I know, right? So, but also, so many, there are newsies and newsboys and newsgirls all over the country. So I know up in the Southwest Michigan Exchange Club, they're getting ready to have their kickoff as well. In Trenton, Michigan, and Lincoln Park, Michigan, a lot of them work with their newsies, because it is that collaboration and support that really make that happen. And I know there are organizations that collect coats, used coats, and that's great too. There's a need for that. But to me, there's nothing more empowering than having that child have something brand new that they chose.
Well, you're right. You talked about your shirt. There is a reason you put that shirt on today. You felt a certain way when you looked at it. You wanted to feel a certain way when you were wearing it. We all know when we walk out to a job interview, when we walk into a big meeting, we try to look our best, because then we're presenting the best of our whole package. It makes us feel confident. So it's more than just some stitched together material. It's a little bit of confidence too.
Well, you're right about that. And I think, that ties together all the things we've been talking about. Is a lot of service clubs like Exchange support people who don't have those daily choices. But we want to help them get there. And then it's cool when you get them there. I can't tell you how many people give to the Old Newsboys and say they gave me a coat when I was little, and they remember that. So they come back and they want to pay it forward. Same with Exchange. A lot of people that clubs help want to then say, how can I get involved? I want to help somebody.
You bet. We hear that from, especially our accepting the challenge of excellence, our ACE winners.
Yes.
Those who we're still in contact with tell us some amazing things. I've never spoken with one of our past recipients who said, "Oh yeah, that was helpful."
You're right.
They all gush about what it meant for people to place value on them in their future, what it meant for people to see them despite the fact that they might look differently or come from different circumstances. Everything matters.
Everything does matter. In fact, I'm glad you brought that up, Kristie, because our Legacy of the Year that was just awarded in July, we have received 3 thank you notes from her.
She's so cute.
Since July. And they're not just, like you said, they're not just, thank you. It's like a full page handwritten of everything that's going on and how much it means to her.
Yes, because what they see is a club behind them. And then all of a sudden they have a district behind them. So now how many new people have they met who are wishing them nothing but the best?
Yes.
And placing significant value on what that person means in this world. Then they get to the national convention and they're surrounded by 800 more new friends.
Yes.
It is a big impact.
It is. And you know what? That's a great way to wrap this up, by telling clubs and anybody listening that never take for granted what you do, big or small, because the person you're helping never took that for granted.
Sometimes people just need a smile so they don't cry.
Yes.
Gosh. And if all you can do is give out some smiles and you don't even know you've changed someone's day, I think that's good.
I think that's great. Excellent. Right. This has been fun. We could talk for hours about this.
Fun.
So Exchange Clubs that are listening, please continue to post the wonderful things you're doing on the Exchange Club Facebook members page. Don't ever take it for granted.
Never.
If you're listening and you're not familiar with Exchange, please go to nationalexchangeclub.org to get involved with putting a smile on someone's face.
That's right. And we should close by saying that we are so thankful for our members and our clubs and everything they do for communities in this country.
Most definitely. So thankful. And I'm so thankful for you and for
Ditto.
Brad, our producer.
And
What
Brad.
fun.
Can you imagine if our people could see the looks he gives us sometimes?
Right. And he's so smiling. This has been so good.
It has been.
Speaking of putting a smile on somebody's faces, that's what we do for each other.
That's right.
Yes, thanks to all of our wonderful members. And thanks for tuning in to this episode of Talk Exchange.